I think Arenado looks at that monster and goes, you know what? If I go to Boston and dominate, it could get him another contract, actually.
And I'm in love with the good life. Can't give it up. Make it to the top. Keep climbing. I wanna live it up. The good life. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. The good life. Good life. Oh, good life. Good life. Good life.
Boom, coming in hot, Chinchy, on a Monday. What's going on, man? How was your weekend?
Weekend was good, man. Got a lot of productive stuff done. Still haven't taken down the Christmas stuff though. Have you?
Well, dude, that's like, I think that's like end of January.
Yeah, good. I feel a little weird about it, but dude, we still have the light. We got some lights out there, but I just haven't had the. It's freezing here, isn't it? Freezing where you are on the East Coast?
School was canceled this morning. School was canceled. It was like 3 to 5 inches. Although the salt trucks were out and like they got it quickly. So like, I just got back from working out and I was like, all right, they could have gone to school.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Right, Jillian? Don't you think you could have gone to school? Yeah, right. She said no.
I heard it from here. That was great. No.
Matter of fact, I went into a room last night because I was having trouble. I just woke up in the middle of the night. We did Breakthrough Pro 5 last night. So you start going through your mind, this, that. You start, as soon as you go to the bathroom, next thing you know, you're like, oh, here goes the mind. Starts thinking about this. Let's do this. So I'm like, geez. So whenever I do that, I try to change environments. So I'm like, all right, I gotta go to Jillian's room. So I go into Jillian's room, lay down, put the phone down. Like hour and a half later, my phone's ringing. And I'm kind of rattled. She's like, Dad, your phone's ringing. So I grab it. It's the school. Like, the school today is canceled. And I'm like, school's canceled. Do you remember those days when you were little? Your mom would come in and go, school's canceled. You're like,
the greatest.
Oh my God, it's the greatest day ever. And then your mom would give you the sled. My mom used to give me the sled, like, hey, listen, this is for Christmas, but because school's canceled, you go out and play a whole golf course and rip on this sled right here.
Yeah, especially because your mom was. The flip side is mom was like, I don't want these kids in my house today. I got stuff to do around here. Go outside and play with your friends. That's why I got you those mittens.
Now they're like, here's a phone. Just stay on your phone for 8 hours on the couch. Don't go sledding. Don't go out. Don't do anything. Just do that. Carly said to me yesterday, she goes, Dad, she goes, were you in high school in the 80s? And I go, yeah, 1988 was my freshman year. She's like, that's so cool. I go, yeah, it was so cool growing up in the 80s. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, dude.
Simpler times, Chinch.
Much simpler times. That's you always see that shot of the protecting your kids in the 80s, and the kid just has a baseball cap on, and he's flying over a ramp on a. Remember, you'd make a bike ramp and try to fly over your dad's car or something, and none of us died somehow.
Remember, remember those big wheels?
Oh,
you'd take the big wheels, even at yeah. But you'd go like even as you were like 12, you're like, okay, I'm too big for the big wheel, but you'd be ripping down your street like here in Pittsburgh, dude. Our hills are like this. You'd be like, this is so dangerous. I'm ripping down a street right now. And I'm about to pull the brake and just start spinning around. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like that was, those were or let's go play wiffle ball. There were so many things.
Terrible things we did.
You did, or make a fort. Remember you used to make the igloo in your front yard?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, man.
Jeez, those are the days, dude.
Those were the days. Luckily we got through it. But anyway, God. All right. So the stove is a little cooler today still. We're still waiting on a number of things. One interesting thing, movement forward with the Nolan Arenado stuff is, that he only has those 5 or 6 teams that they say that he wanted to go to. Now it's kind of leaning, a lot of reports are saying that he really would prefer, if it was his choice, to go to the Boston Red Sox. What's your take on that?
Well, his swing would play. So, I think him and Bregman, kind of the same guys right now. I think Arrenado, as his career's gone on, and I felt the same way, going to left center for me, going opposite field, got a little tougher as I got older. And you watch Arenado swing, he doesn't go to right center like he used to. He's turned into more of a pull hitter. I think that's why his average is a little down. But in St. Louis, that's not easy to be a pull hitter, though. You got to really drive it. But the reason the Red Sox are on Bregman and Arenado is because they're both have become, as you age, you become more of a pull guy. It's just, you got to get it out there a little bit, or for whatever reason, it's not as easy to drive the ball to right field. Those become flyouts as opposed to home runs. So I think Arenado looks at that monster and goes, you know what? If I go to Boston and dominate, it could get him another contract, actually. And look at Boston. They got Crochet. They got Walker Buehler. They have some great young pitching. They got Roman Anthony coming, who's like the number one prospect in baseball. They got a ton of like top 100 prospects. Like the future's bright there. By the way, speaking of the Boston Red Sox, we got Alex Cora, the manager of the Boston Red Sox, coming on tomorrow inside the mayor's office, which is going to be great, from Puerto Rico.
Wow.
Yeah, which is great. So, I can't wait to ask him about that. What about Arenado? What about, some of these questions? I think the biggest question to ask him is going to be, if Arenado comes to Boston, now you got to move Rafi Devers to first. Where does Tristan Casas do? Does he become your all-time DH at, what is he, 24, 25 years old? Like, this guy, he's decent over there at first base. So, you're definitely looking at the future. You're switching it up. Are you trading Tristan Casas? I wouldn't do that. I think the guy's got a lot of potential. He's had a lot of injuries the last couple of years. But I think there's questions. I know Arenado wants to go there, but if he does, a lot of things have to happen. You know what I mean? So, I'm really interested to ask Alex Cora tomorrow about that, how it shapes up and how he looks at that lineup. And he's just one of my best buddies, around in the game, and talking baseball with him, dude, is going to be a lot of fun. Yeah,
very fun, very fun. I mean, he's kind of like one of those ambassadors in the league right now, from the guys who played all the way up to where he is now. It's great, great stuff. Can I ask you one quick question, just for folks who wouldn't know? It's funny, like back in the 80s when you're watching TV, you're like, his bat's slowing down. That's why he can't get around on that fastball. But the way the game is now, what you just said, you're like, when you get older, it's harder to go the other way. So you become more pull. Why? Because are you guessing more, or are you just zoning in on less? You're cutting down the pitches you're swinging at?
You know what? Honestly, Chinch, I know for me, a lot of injuries over the years my body started to move differently. My shoulder blew out my shoulder years earlier, just couldn't get through the ball the way I did. Then hit a hip flexor strain, calf. I pulled my calf. It started to kind of like mess with my legs. Go back to Ken Griffey Jr., dude. When Ken Griffey Jr. pulled his hammy in Cincy, everything changed as far as how he swung. You know what I mean? Like, that ball to left center wasn't as easy. The ball to center wasn't as easy. He became really more of a right center pull guy. You start to lose your legs. You start to have wear and tear on your body. I think that naturally happens. So I think when you start to get in your 30s, I remember Barry Larkin told me one time, he goes, Case, wait till you hit, I was like 24. I'm like, yeah, I'm dominating. I'm going to be freaking full of, I'm everything. I'm 24 the rest of my life. And I remember him going, when you get to 30, he goes, everything changes. He goes, more injuries start happening. I had to, when I get out of bed, I got to stretch just to get downstairs. It is kind of true. There's stuff starts. So sudden stuff starts to happen a little bit. You can't totally explain it or put your finger on it, but your body changes as you get a little older. And I think that's why it gets easier to be a pull guy. I mean, that pitch middle away, I used to get on top of the dish and hit it to right center. And I didn't love it because I left center was my bread and butter. That's why I felt like I was an elite player at times. And, I think when you start to lose that, you're like, all right, you got to do what you got to do. You got to make adjustments. This is a game of adjustments, whether you're a 23-year-old kid coming in or a 34-year-old veteran that's got to adjust to how his body is, what park he's in, pitches he swings at. What are you hunting? I know Jim told me when he was on our show, I said, Jimmy, did you ever guess? He's like, early in my career, no. I was hunt the fastball, look middle away, be ready to go. He said, as I got older, the slider became a problem for me. So I started to guess slider. And it worked for him. It got him to 612 home runs. So I think that's the great thing about this game. The adjustments are pitch by pitch. They're season by season of your life. If you're a 23, 24-year-old kid coming in, it's a different adjustment than you are a veteran of 34, 35 years old. You've been lucky enough to get there. It's now a different adjustment to become some of the player you were in your 20s. That's why they're their prime years, man. That's why people pay Juan Soto $750-some million, $60-some million, because you're getting his prime years. Bryce Harper, $300 million when that was big. You're getting his prime years. Manny Machado, you're getting these guys' prime years. And that's why I think when you look at Pete Alonso, you're like, this guy's 30. His prime years were 20. Those guys, Alonso's at a college. Those guys are out of high school. They signed at 16. They're getting to that stage of their prime at free agency. That's why they're getting the big money.
Right.
That's why they're getting $700 million because they're 26 years old. And the reason Ohtani's getting is he's 29 when he got it, I think, but he's a two-way player. So that's why he's the unicorn. Right. How tough is it to get to the big leagues and you need 6 years to get to free agency? That means if you're 19, 20 in the big leagues, that means if you're 25, 26 and you're still an elite player, those are the guys we're going to see the big numbers on.
There you go. All right. Great points there. Look at you. Locked in. And you were an elite player. Don't sell yourself short. Not at times.
Oh, thank you. No, I think at times I was, but I did when the injuries started to come in, it became more of a grind.
I get it, man. I hear you. All right. One guy who you could argue is in his prime or moving towards the exact time of his prime is Luis Arraez, dude. He's 27 years old, third year ARB eligible. Jeff Passan, this is very interesting, says two things. One, both with the Yankees, they have had discussions with the Padres about Arraez, and they made an inquiry to the Dodgers of all folks about Gavin Lux to fill that second base void. You start with
wait. The Yankees looked at Gavin Lux.
The Yankees looked at both. So the Yankees are talking to the Padres, and the Yankees are talking to the Dodgers, which is totally interesting when the two World Series teams could make a deal. I don't know if they could ever.
I mean, I guess, I feel like the Yankees farm system is becoming very depleted. So who are they trading for Luis Arraez? It could be another big leaguer, but yeah, if you had Luis Arraez in that lineup, you kidding me? Who wouldn't want that, man? A guy that doesn't strike out a lot, a guy that puts the ball in play, a guy that's gonna get on base for. You saw when guys get on base like Juan Soto for Judge, that's you see 140 some RBIs, dude.
Right.
To a guy that they're not even pitching to in Judge. So like Arraez, finding a way to put the ball in play, get the line moving, that kind of stuff would be huge. Gavin Lux is interesting. A couple years ago, when did he have Tommy John or ACL? I believe it was ACL surgery.
Right.
Missed the whole year, came back, and then last year was up and down. I mean, they even moved Mookie Betts to shortstop because they feel like he was having trouble making the throw. But Gavin Lux can hit, man. I really believe he can hit, and I believe he's kind of turned. There was a couple months there last year where you felt like, man, that's one of the better bats in that lineup. So. Right. The Yankees, I don't think would have to give up too much for Gavin Lux. I think Arraez would probably be more costly. But, I mean, Lux is still a young player. You can put him in that second base role. I like it. I love Brian Cashman, dude, how he's always, wheeling and dealing. Yeah. And after Hal Steinbrenner lost Soto, he's like, do whatever you can. I'm sure he called Cashman and Boone and says, like, whoever you guys want, we'll go after for you. Yeah, that's
and again, there's definitely still guys to be traded and to do everything. To get it done. Hold on. I just had the Yankees farm system rankings. This is probably some AI developed thing, which is very scary at this point. But, all right. According to the Yankees, they're 18th after 2023. I mean, but the weird thing about how these, depending on what rankings, like they have Dominguez as a ranked prospect, but I mean, he's going to start in a major league. So it's hard to value who, but generally speaking, you're right. There's not much left for the Yankees to give up.
What are they, Chinch? That's 2023. Can you find what they are after 2024? Does it have it?
Let's see. Current. That's what I was trying to look for. Current MLB. What is it? Minor. I just had it. League rankings. This is good audio. All right. Let's see. Final MLB farm rankings 2024. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
I'm gonna have to. This breaks it up into tiers on Beach Report.
They had an article the other day on it, and
I saw it too. Okay. On this list by Bleacher Report, and again, a lot of people that look into this stuff very strongly. The Yankees are on 29th.
Right. I think that's more like it.
That's more like it, right?
And they got rid of Drew Thorpe. They got rid of who's the guy they just got rid of? The Durbin.
Yep.
Who's the pitcher? Pete? Is it Pete?
Pete.
They've unloaded a lot of guys.
Right, and they only have one guy, I'm looking right now, one guy listed in the top 100 rankings, and it is Dominguez.
And Dominguez is not really a prospect.
Yeah, he's kind of like your rookie. All right, so that's where they lie. Now, on a flip side,
the biggest thing with the Yankees is they have the money to do what they're doing. Go get Goldschmidt, go trade for Bellinger, do the things that they're doing.
Yeah, and I don't know why would the Padres want to get rid of? Why wouldn't any team just want a roster?
Because AJ Preller, if he's not trading guys, he gets OCD. He's like, we haven't made a trade. Oh my God, I'm getting OCD. So that's why Preller's like, yeah, we'll trade whoever. I just got to make a trade. I need my fix.
Yeah, he's got hit on 17.
Everyone's addicted to something, bro. Everybody has something. It's not just substance abuse. It could be the fact that you need to trade somebody, the fact that you're, you need drama in your life. You need to fight with somebody. And there's all these. Everyone's addicted to something. Don't think you're not. So AJ Preller's addicted to making trades.
That's a good one. All right, one more thing on the Yankees, and this is more of a Hall of Fame question. You've been reading a lot of articles recently about CC Sabathia and his Hall of Fame pedigree.
Well, you know what? First off, like I said, I like to say when you have faced guys firsthand, you know who Hall of Famers are. And CC Sabathia is 100% a Hall of Famer. Knew it when I faced him. The bulldog mentality he had in those early Cleveland years, that slider was wiped out. His fastball was upper 90s. When you're like, wow, it's 97, 98 with a wipeout slider. It was almost like Randy Johnson a little bit, obviously, but CC's not as big as him. So Randy Johnson at 6'11", throwing 100 with that 93-mile slider felt a little different than CC, but CC was a big guy on the mound, dude. CC's a big dude. He was a bigger man than he is now, obviously. And when you face CC, you're like, this is going to be, you're in for a dogfight. This is one of those guys that you're going to have to fight, to just get, maybe get out of there with one hit tonight. But when you go back and look at his body of work, Chinch, 3,000 strikeouts, 250 wins, dude, that's 250 wins, mate. That might, everyone's like, 300 wins will never happen again. 250 may never happen again. The way these guys are coming in and out of games, not facing guys, because starters aren't around enough in the game to get a W, because people think that, the wins is no big deal. And I'm like, no, that's not true. But you look at CC, man. You talk about a guy, I believe 3,000 strikeouts for a lefty. Only two other lefties have done it. Randy Johnson and Steve Carlton, two of the best ever. You look at his career, 116 ERA plus. It's better than Nolan Ryan, Robin Roberts, and Fergie Jenkins. And his 61.8 WAR ranks 10th in Major League Baseball history among left-handed starters. 7 of the 9 names ahead of him on that list are Hall of Famers. The other 2 are Tommy John and Clayton Kershaw, which Tommy John should probably be in too. But, go back and look at his career. What he did with the Indians, man, all those incredible years some of those teams had, he's right in the thick of that. Goes to Milwaukee in the trade, pretty much puts the Brewers on his back, gets them to the postseason first time in 20-some years, all because of the workhorse that he was. And then he signs one of the best deals ever in Major League Baseball history. I believe it was 7 years, $161 million to the Yankees. They win the World Series in 2009. And, talking to the guys in the Yankees, well, he's one of the best teammates ever, man. A guy that just really cares. Mark Shapiro and him are still close, and he loves CC like a son. And he talks about him all the time, that like just one of the best teammates out there, a guy that does everything for the team, guy that shows up for the team. So when you look at CC, man, this guy for me is no doubt a Hall of Famer. He has a Cy Young under his belt. He has a World Championship under his belt. He has everything, and he's a lefty. So he has everything that a Hall of Famer is. So, I'm excited for him, because I really believe he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Ichiro and CC are definitely going in, I believe.
I would hope so. Couple other minor notes that just impressed me so much. 561 games as a pitcher. He was 90 games over 500, dude. He was 251 and 161. That to me is crazy. You're talking about lefty righty stuff. One other thing. Here are your active wins leaders. Okay, what do we say? CC had how many wins did he have? 251. Here's the active pitchers. Verlander 262. He's not getting many more. Scherzer 216. He might not get to CC. Clayton Kershaw, 212, is not getting the keys to CC. Garrett Cole, who right now is arguably the best starting pitcher in baseball, he's got 153 wins, dude.
Right.
He's not going to even reach CC, and he's not.
Yeah, he's going to have to really do well to reach CC.
He's 33.
Right.
That's how many. That's what we saw in CC. He was one of the last of a dying breed of just. And by the way, don't forget it. His last start of the season, 1 year, he had to get one more inning to get like $1 million raise. But the Yankees and the Rays were fighting with each other.
He pelted.
He pelted a dude, got ejected from the game, and didn't get his bonus.
And then he looked over to Kevin Cash, our man, and said, "That one was for you." When he said, "That one was for you."
Yeah. So.
But, dude, that was CC. And then the Yankees gave him the bonus anyhow.
Yep.
Because he's like, I don't care about the $4 million bonus or whatever. It was like $500,000, I think, or $100,000. He's like, This is a moment I got to stick up for my teammates. Like, you got to respect it, man.
Gotta respect it. All right.
CC, Hall of Famer for me, Cooperstown.
There you go. All right. What you got on the agenda for the rest of the day today?
Well, I got my daughter's home right now. I'm going to maybe make her something to eat or something. I'm not sure, but she's, chilling on the couch.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so.
Excellent. All right.
It'll be a nice day, dude. So, yeah.
Don't miss tomorrow, everybody. We got Alex Cora.
Alex Cora tomorrow. It's going to be great. We're going to ask him all the questions we ask. Arenado, Devers, what would you do there? What would you do with Casas? Where's Walker Buehler going to, and Crochet, these guys that they've got, how excited he is for this season. So it's going to be a good one tomorrow. Alex Cora, join us 100%. And Chinchy, love you, brother. Everyone out there, we appreciate you listening. Keep subscribing and downloading. We need it big time, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. See you, man.
See you.